Super duper. So welcome everybody, whoever is joining us live for this gift questions and answers, at least 1 hour. I was counting 1 hour. Yeah, let's see how we go with Constanze Chiarello. And before we get into the questions, I would like to introduce Constanze to you a little bit, but maybe you can say something about yourself as well. I met Constanze in one of her classes in November. She is one of the few two-day X-Men facilitators that works internationally that Gary Douglas approved to actually facilitate the two-day X-Men class. And whoever don't know me, my name is Jyri Takacs, and since December, I'm also an X-Men facilitator, but I can only do the one-day class yet. Yet, exactly. So because we love Constanze, there are a few of us that have been attending a couple of her calls and series and classes. And because she's going to have an English language two-day X-Men class that is available online as well, we thought that we would bring Constanze here to you and make her available so that you can ask all your questions about this huge topic that is the X-Men universe.
Yes. I want to say something a bit about me. I want to start with one question and then I want to go to Esther.
Super.
Please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing your names correctly. I'm so sorry already. Okay. So I'm actually from Vienna, which is very close to Hungary, and we all used to be one big country. I was a big fan of the Empress of Austria, so I know a lot about our two countries together. I come from a very traditional Viennese family, and I always felt like this big, big alien because I didn't fit in. I was this black sheep. And this feeling of wrongness was so present in my life because, I didn't function the way everyone else did. And I was deeply, deeply, deeply depressed when I was a teenager and a young adult. I was so depressed that actually the doctors told me I'm never going to be fine again. I'm always going to need medication because also I've had a lot of anxiety. And I really, like, there was a lot of abuse in my family too. So, there was a lot of drama psychologically about all of that. And I've tried so many modalities. And no matter where I came, I could always perceive I didn't really fit in. Things worked differently for me. So when I came to Access Consciousness, that changed my whole life. And after one class, my whole life got lighter for the first time. And then I heard about this X-Men. I was like, whatever that is, I need to go there. And my first X-Men class was literally like coming home. It was all the information I was looking for my whole life and all the things showing up in my world that where no one had an explanation for, I finally got informations. It was things like a lot in the spiritual world, they said like, you're not grounded enough. You're so da, 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 da. It was always made wrong. I was always interrupting people. I was always quick and fast and changing and doing 5 things at the same time. And they all said, you need to change that. You need to work on your yin or yang. I forgot which one. One of those.
And focus.
And focus, exactly. So for the first time, I got information, and I never planned to become, let's say, a coach. I was an artist. But when I experienced that, I knew I have to bring that to the world. So I became a facilitator because of the X-Men, because I knew so many black sheep in the theater world where I could see they required something else. So that's my story. And there was a question. So how do you know you're an X-Men? I want to start with that question. So we talk in the class also a lot about diagnosis, but important information. A lot of us don't have a diagnosis. Yay, well done, you guys. Which doesn't mean you're not an X-Men. The diagnosis is this reality. A lot of us would get a diagnosis if we would go to a doctor, like ADHD or whatever. So you don't need to have a diagnosis. Gary once said, someone is an X-Men because they're like, that sounds interesting, but that's not me. Here we go. So if you recognize one of those few things, you always felt like an alien in your family or your surrounding, you or the black sheep. The second point is, you don't really get what is going on. Like Mata said, Mia faces, what the fuck is this? Like when you're like, what are they doing here? What is this? How many of you have this? What is this here? Like, can someone pick me up, please? Like, get me on a plane, private jet to a different planet. If you think you're really slow or stupid, that's something a lot of us have, that we think we're slow because we don't get stuff. If we get bored really easy, everything is really boring, we can't do stuff. Normal jobs are like a nightmare. Everything normal is a nightmare. If you have a lot of sensitivities to light or noise or smells or clothes, it was a nightmare for me as a child to wear a wool sweater. It was like a torture. Or tights. They were like too tight. Or jeans who were too tight. Who cares about fashion? It's not fun. A lot of X-Men think they don't get energy. If you think you don't get energy because you don't perceive the aura or the light or the chakras. A lot of us have that we're like, I don't get energy. And also small things like, do you interrupt people very often? Are you bored from small talk? Do you don't like people a lot? Yeah.
Are
So
you
like
sensitive to stupid people?
Exactly. So those are like all, let's say, symptoms you are an X-Man. It could also be like that you are depressed sometimes, or also often, or that you have this feeling of hopelessness in your world. I mean, a lot of us also have weird body stuff. And I said weird because the doctors can't find anything weird, where there is like pain and the doctor is, but there's nothing really going on. You know, why do you like? So those are all the signs you're an X-Man. Yes, I would like to go to Esther's question. Hi.
Sziasztok! Hello!
Hello.
Én azt szeretném megkérdezni, szóval nekem van így most jó, hogyha így mondom?
Igen.
Jó, köszönöm. Szóval van egy 6 éves, nagyon cuki autista kisfiam, egy kis zsenibogyó, és hát most ami a nagy elakadásunk, hogy semmilyen ruhadarabot nem szeret magán, az alsónadrágon kívül. És igazából nekem az lenne a kérdésem, hogy milyen kérdéseket tudok feltenni annak érdekében, hogy megtudjam, hogy milyen ruhadarabot viselne ő szívesen. Egyébként beszél, tehát nagyon gyönyörűen beszél, de nem tudok rájönni, hogy tudunk kimenni az utcára nem alsónadrágba.
Nyárban elég meleg van, lehet, hogy most elég az alsónadrág, ennyit tud a gyerek. Lefordítom, jó? So her question is that she has a 6-year-old, really cute, very smart, talkative son who is autistic, and he does not tolerate any clothes on himself other than underpants. So she's asking, like, how can I get to know what clothes would be okay for him to wear, because I really can't bring him out to the street only in underpants.
Okay. Well, yes. So a lot of things. Has your kid ever done an X-Men class with you?
He's 6.
Okay, but has he been with you at an X-Men class?
Volt velem, a Geri 3 napos X-Men folyamán, ott ült az ölemben.
He was sitting on my lap when I did, I think it was in February, Gary had a 3-day X-Men class.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is a clearing about environmental sensitivity. So you could pot and pock all the environmental sensitivity your son has around it. And also, I would ask if he could expand out in all directions before he puts on clothes. And also ask him, so what kind of clothes could work for you? Can you pick it up if we go out? Because if you like let him expand out in all direction, the clothes are not so aggressive anymore because he is more space. That's like one of the best tools for overwhelm. The more you expand out, the less sound, light is aggressive. And also in the 2-day class, there's a clearing. I can't do it now because I don't know it by heart. I need to read it. But there's a clearing about environment sensitivity, but also ask him to ask. And also what you could do, like, could you ask him if you and him could work on the molecular structure of the clothes before he puts them on. So can you guys talk to the molecules so that they are in a way that works for him to make it softer or less? I so get him about that. I have that with tight jeans, but material is you can make it fit. So what can I be to make the clothes fit me, that it works? Try that and see how it's going. And it's amazing that he was with you in X-Men class, because for a lot of the kids, the classes are such a gift, because in those 2 days, there are so many clearings. And sometimes it's not just one clearing. It's a few informations they require where it kind of like domino all falls together. And sometimes it's like this one clearing they require to change that. So that's why the classes are so amazing, because it's this variety of informations, clearing and processes where really the whole system gets. I personally never get to that point in one session where I get in a whole class, because there's so much like going on. So thank you so much for bringing him to a class. That's amazing. What a gift.
Marcinak egyébként Geritől az volt a kérdése, nem tettük fel, hogy tudná megteremteni az összes játékot, amit szeretne most azonnal, ebben a pillanatban, ebbe a szobába. Tehát, hogy így...
He had the little son had a question that was never asked in that class, but his question was like, how could I create all the toys that I ever wanted right now in this room?
Cool. Yeah, like X-Men kids usually like money and luxury because it gives us a lot of ease in that world. I yesterday posted a video where I said like one of the reasons for me to get rich as an X-Men was, and I posted this video of this crowd at Zara where everyone was getting crazy about sale. And then I posted this video where I'm in a boutique and there's like literally no one. Like a lot of us like money because it gives us the opportunity to get away from people, stress, and overwhelm, like, yes, I get my coffee there and so yeah, cool. Did he create all the toys? Probably. I feel I want to send him some toys now, actually. Cool. It's good, Esther?
Igen, köszönöm.
Yeah, okay, super.
So,
okay.
What can I do when it upsets me how slow people are? Yes, so I would say something very similar, expand out in all directions. The more we are expanded out, the less intense it is. But also recognize how fast you are. And it's not against us. They're just not that fast. They just function different. It's like, would you teach a fish to climb a tree? We have fishes and they're monkeys, so they're just functioning different. Most humans just function different. I hope that helps. But expanding out is one of the most amazing tools for X-Men. Okay, Joanna, I know my little X-Man can connect to me through my thoughts. However, when I try to initiate the same, I feel resistance. I would love not to use my words because it's tiring and useless. In Fish book, they suggest this way of communicating for efficiency, but I kind of feel that we make no progress. What can I do to improve the areas that we have to? Peaceful toothbrushing, finishing activity. Thank you. I would ask, are you already communicating with him energetically and haven't acknowledged it? Because you said there is resistance. So what X-Men have a lot, when you're kind of kids, when you pretend not to communicate with him and then try to, they get mad because like we're already doing it. So acknowledge how much you're already communicating with him energetically. So us as X-Men, we're communicating energetically. And that often, it doesn't look like in the movies. It often is like, I just have this ping to start. Remember, today I started talking about tight jeans. I was already aware of Esther's question. It was already in my world. So that's why I started talking about it. But I didn't hear her, or I didn't get this telepathically message. It was just in my world. So that's how we're functioning energetically. It's not significant. So how much are you already doing that and have it acknowledged? And X-Men kids usually get mad or pissed when we are not acknowledging what's going on. So some tools, it's also in the book, to have ease with toothbrushing is to send them the whole picture of what's going to happen, not step by step, like the whole thing. First the toothbrush, then this, and then the water, and then put it back then, and then the pajama. So this the whole picture. And also, again, how much are you already doing it? I hope that helps. Is she here? I don't think she's here.
No, these questions were sent in probably because they cannot attend live, but
Okay.
they will listen to the
Yeah.
recording. So
Okay. So and also those we have to, could we also pot and pock all the we have tos? Because when you put pressure and expectation and projections on an X-Man, he's usually like this. Like how much do we have that when someone wants us to do something? How often are we, now I'm not going to do it? So I know it sounds a bit too easy to be true, but like if we pull out the energy and pull out the you have to, the kids usually get more relaxed. I hope that helps. If not, message us.
also there's a way to actually tell them that you cannot brush your teeth.
True. Yes.
So say, no toothbrushing for you for a week, not allowed, only adults, only mommy and daddy. And then they straight away want to do it.
So true.
Yeah.
Yes. Like I have another fun tool if you want your kids and your husband to leave you alone for hours. Just say, I'm cleaning, who wants to help? You won't see them for hours. It's not an X-Men tool. I
love it.
just want, if you want to get rid of someone. What the fuck is this from Marty? She's also not here. I love this woman too. Yes, what the fuck is this really matches the energy that most X-Men have on this planet. What is this? Because this planet is literally based on judgments. This is how you do it. This is right, this is wrong. For an X-Men, this doesn't make sense. The whole school system is made for humans. The medical system is made for humans. All the systems are made for humans. So as an X-Men, you're like, I'm a fish and this is a tree. It doesn't work. So what the fuck is this really matches? So what a lot of us have that we think we need to get out of the system, off the planet, in the woods, in a little cult, not talk to people. The fun starts if we're not fighting against the system anymore, if we're not making ourselves wrong, but if we get tools to have ease with the system and create beyond. I can give you an example.
And use the system for your
Yes,
advantage.
exactly. I can give you an example. For me, money and taxes was this, right? And I was always like, I want to be out of the system and like, not. Like, that's not how you create wealth. When I started using the system, and as Georgie said, to your advantage and go beyond, that's when I started creating the millions. And that's the same. Like it's the goal of the X-Men class is not to get us out of here. It's to have ease and go beyond. And that's such a powerful place because also the world requires people to go beyond. And going beyond is not fighting against the system. I hope that helps. So what the fuck is this? Yes. It's not our reality what goes on here. Love this question. I will practice to say that in Hungarian.
Let's do a class for you in Hungary, and then you can say to everybody, what
Yes!
is this?
I was like, Mia fazes.
Nearly there.
The question is from Nori.
Nori. I think she might be here. I think I've seen her. I'm not sure if she's still here. Let me check the Zoom.
I can't. Maybe she's Samsung. I don't think so.
No, Kranitz Nori. She's here. Yes.
Yeah, here she is. Hello. Most often you hear stuff about being an X-Man from the kids' point of view, and that how we can be a contribution to them. Little is said about what if the parents are themselves X-Men too, and are just on the way of discovering their potentials. If this is the family setup, then how can we exist together? It's interesting that you had that experience, because I usually, it's an interest, thank you for bringing that, because I usually don't do classes like this. It's just for the kids. I think Diva said a few years ago that Gary did that in the beginning because so many parents had the point of view just the kids as an X-Men and were not even willing to receive that information until they came to class. So that could be it, but it's not about the kids, it's about all of us, okay? If this is the family setup, how can we exist together? Particularly if the kids are still little. I have a 2-month-old, a 1.5-year-old, and a 4.5-year-old. Wow, you're busy. Can you suggest tools and questions for X-Men to be used in this kind of setup of family to have ease living with each other? For me, the time spent together so far is energetically as well as physically draining. I have taken AC classes also to a 1-day class. I use what I know and also other modalities. We have an really abusive relationship in both directions and could not change it so far. Most of that does not belong to us, but does not make it easier any day by day. I feel like if I was forced into something that makes me suffer and something in what I make others suffer, and it's difficult to see the contribution of all of this and how I can co-create. I love that question. So you want to see in this reality, family has this typical picture how family should look like, we spend time together and whatever. For an X-Men, first of all, every X-Men is differently. It's not like we're X-Men, we're all the same. You can have an X-Men who doesn't want to talk, and you can have an X-Men who talks all the time. And usually they're in one family. So every X-Men can be completely different. Some require a lot of touching, others hate to be touched. When I visited my grandma a few weeks ago, and I visited friends, and in this family, everyone is diagnosed, literally diagnosed, Asperger, autism, whatever. We're all together, and it was so funny because everyone functions so different. One of them couldn't touch anyone. He always needs 1 meter of space around him. I'm very huggy. A few of us talked so an X-Men doesn't mean we're all the same. I think that's one of the first things. The second thing is X-Men in family are usually not this family like this world. A lot of X-Men family means that, so in this world, a family is right if we spend time together, right? We have to sit on the table, do something together. For X-Men, it's often everyone is in their own world, but that doesn't mean we're not connected. So one of the tools for me would be, can we destroy and uncreate all the expectations, separations, judgments, projections, lies, points of views, how a family should look like? Yes? Right on Pepperpuck, 100 shorts, boys, poets, creation spaces, ambience. We are always taught that true connection means spending time together. What if true connection could be everyone is in their own room and can do whatever they want, but we're all energetically connected? So again, all expectations, separations, judgments, points of views, projections, lies, inventions, agendas we have around how a family should look like, and we destroy and uncreate all of this. Right on Pepperpuck, 100 shorts, boys, poets, creation spaces, ambience. With X-Men, it's literally individuals who are all strong, stubborn, potent as fuck, who chose to live together for some reason, usually because small bodies require taller bodies to survive them. But X-Men kids are not kids. They're like adults in small bodies. They're stubborn, they are potent, they are like those. In Access, we don't say personalities, but let's say that they're like big personalities. They're people who know exactly what they want. X-Men are not difficult, but we're also not easy. We're just potent beings, okay? And also be aware that there's often this energy that X-Men are those perfect, conscious beings like the elite nexus. No. X-Men kids can also be assholes from time to time. They can also be difficult. You can also want to strangle them. It's all okay. But the thing is, like, if we go out of this family systems and structures and be like, okay, what does work for all of us? How does everyone function? How can we make it work for us without the perfect image? How would that look like for you? And would you also be willing to look, okay, what do my kids require and what do I require? So if you require space and your kids require cuddle, be like, hey, please give me some space. Where is she? I hope that works. I hope that helps. Let me get to the question again. Yes. And the abuse, you said it feels like a lot of abuse. Every judgment is abuse. So how many judgments do you all have how it should look like? Can we just try and unquote all of this, please? Why don't go back papok or 100 short boys, poets, creation spaces, and yes. Yes, and also as a parent, it can be challenging because you are maybe on the spectrum too, and your little one has a tantrum and requires your support, but you require space yourself. So I would say those are the tricky situations as a parent. So what tool could you use in that moment to have the most ease to parent your little one? Because there are little bodies. So sometimes they require some support. But if you look at them as adults in small bodies, that changes a lot for me. And are you also willing to see when they are manipulating you into getting what they want? But I would say, like my husband and I, we have that a lot. It makes us so happy to create, like to create together. And like most couples are like, oh, on a Sunday, we just lay on the beach and do nothing. And we like that for like half an hour, but we like to create and we like to work together and do fun stuff. And like in this world that doesn't look like couple stuff, but we love it. So what do you guys love as a family that doesn't look like family stuff? And even if it's everyone is in their own room doing whatever, but you're energetically connected. What if that is X-Men family? And what if X-Men family is really like individuals? Not because in this reality, family is this one thing. But what if it's like literally individuals coexisting together? And what if that looks completely different? Where is she? Nori, does that help?
Igen, csak most épp megint együtt vagyok a gyerkőcökkel, úgyhogy félig tudok figyelni.
Yes, she said yes, it did help, but she's with the kids, so.
Okay, yeah. And also, maybe you require that information. Kids usually choose the parents because the parents can't control them. If you have that information, how could you use that to your advantage? Because you have that information. They chose me because they can control me. So X-Men kids are very smart to get what they want. So how can you use that to your advantage to have ease with that? And can we also please put all the X-Men kids from the pedal? Because I see that so often that people are like parents are sometimes don't even allow themselves to say my kid is an asshole today. I'm like, yeah. So also acknowledge when they are. And X-Men doesn't mean it's this conscious angel. The consciousness is our true state of being, but it doesn't mean we choose that all the time. And with the abuse, there's still an energy on that. So all the judgments you have around how a family should look like, all the judgments and expectations you have about each other, all the judgments you bought how a parent should look like, can we all just try and uncreate all of this? Right on Goodbye Papok, 100 Schultz Boys, Poets, Creation Spaces, Amis. I see it a lot that X-Men parents are so amazing with their kids, but it doesn't look like how a parent is like how a good parent is described in this reality. It doesn't match this judgment. but they're actually so amazing with them. So everywhere you're trying to be this good parent and fit the perfect mom role, can we destroy and unquote all of that for everyone here? Right on Papok, 100 Schutzboys, Povets, Creation Spaces, Amios, because in this reality, parents are here to tell the kids how to fit in this world, how to prepare them to be a good human. School is prepare them to be a good human. X-Men parenting could look like empower them that they know and let them fuck up and let them choose and let them see what a choice looks like and let them discover what works for them. And that's so different. And in this reality, you will always be judged as a bad mom. But what if that is the abuse is to try to fit the judgment? I mean, X-Men and parenting, just an idea, Georgie, could be an amazing like topic for a little intro or
Yeah.
Zoom, because there is so much. And I know you're a mom of 3, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
my kids are older. I mean, my youngest is 17. 17,
Yes, I know. Your
I
kid
don't
is in
know.
Copenhagen. Like she
The
looks
middle
like,
one.
yeah, she looks like 30, and then she tells me she has a kid studying in Copenhagen. I was like,
And another one studying in Dublin.
isn't that amazing? She can always travel to those cool countries. Yeah.
Yes, I know. And I hope
Yeah.
number 3 will end up in Paris.
Yes. Yes. I would like that too.
I'll lend them to you sometimes.
Yes. I hope that.
Maybe Nori wanted to say something. Nori, akarsz valamit mondani?
Igen, még szeretnék mondani valamit, csak lehet, hogy közben a gyerekek hangja is hallatszik fognak a háttérben.
Nem baj, megpróbálunk hallani téged.
Igazából azon már túl vagyok, hogy rossz anya vagyok-e vagy sem, nem is akarok ennek megfelelni. Meg ebben sokat segített a Györgyi is, mert volt X-Kit-tel kapcsolatos is ilyen fajta tisztításunk, vagy kérdezés, már nem tudom, hogy melyik volt. Igen, most fordít az egyik.
Várja, addig lefordítom, jó, amit eddig mondtál. So it's difficult for her because the kids are making noise around her, but until she manages the kids, I can translate what she said so far. So she said that I'm not trying to fit in to be a good mom, and I'm not trying to do everything. I'm over that. And I had some, I don't know, she attended my one-day class, and we had some clarity nights and stuff like that. So we did a lot of clearing, and we worked on that. So she's let that go already. So she's now not operating that way, that I need to fit in and I need to be the perfect mother. Yes?
És a vezetárosítól is kaptam már ezzel kapcsolatban, kérdeztem tőle, és kaptam már tanácsot, és talán az áll legközelebb, de még nem érzem annak az energiáját, hogy annyit mondott ő is anyaként, hogy próbálok le az anyja lenni, mint energia, de ez még nem teljesen érthető számomra, még úgy ízlelgetem, de azt érzem, hogy valahogy ez segít, mert én mindig is úgy álltam az anyasághoz, hogy nem értem, hogy miért jött hozzám 3, mert én sosem éreztem ezt a anya akarok lenni minden áron.
Nyugi, és nekem is 3 van.
És mai napig nem értem, hogy miért jöttek hozzám.
Van, Anett, neki 4 van, és az anti-anya kategória.
És én próbáltam is megadni nekik azt a teret, hogy nem kis felnőttként tekintettem rájuk, de nem is úgy, mint egy anya, de félig elvárják, hogy mégis az anya legyek, de akkor nem én vagyok.
Okay, lefordítom ezt, jó? Hát, ha mond rá valamit a Constanze. So, she also said that she received facilitation for these issues from Orsi Reshetov, the Hungarian 2-day X-Men facilitator, and what helped her a lot, but she's still not getting it energetically perfectly, is that she told her, like, try and be energetically the mother to your kids, because Nori says that I was looking at them as little adults, and I was not...
Azt mondta az Orsi, hogy ne anya energia akarjak.
Hogy ne anya energia. Okay.
Hogy ne anya.
I misunderstood what she said. So Orsi told her, do not try to operate the mothering energy with your children.
Yes.
And she says, I can kind of do that because I'm looking at them as little adults and individuals and blah, blah, blah.
Yes, I totally get that. But also,
and they still need mothering. So she's kind of stuck in between.
I get it. I get it. But you want to see the being as an adult, but the body is a kid. And the body, a kid means the body requires help to change the diapers. Sometimes you need to hold them because the body would run on a street. Sometimes if they have a knife in their hand, you may require to. So what if being a mother, the energy of a mother is not wrong with your kids when it's required? Do you get that?
Igen.
Yes.
Yeah. So those that the kids are little adults doesn't mean they don't require your support and leading. Because being a leader means I am leading the whole, you have 3 kids, is like a big family. You're leading the family. So are you willing to be the leader of them? And what if that doesn't, like a leader is someone who empowers. I think where a lot of people are stuck with that is that they think if you are a mother, you're treating them like idiots. You can be a mother and still acknowledge their brilliance. I can give you an example. A friend of mine, she does a lot of access, had this little girl, she was 6. And we were in the castle at a class with Gary, and we were like 3 friends. We were so stuck into something, and we were in the gardens and processing and trying to get out of it. And at some point, we asked her, "Hey, can you show us something?" And she gave us that piece of information. It was like, bang, so huge. And then we heard like, "Oh my God, this is so amazing!" And the next moment, she went back and did her Barbie's hair. And that was such a beautiful moment because she was this infinite being who was powerful as fuck. But she was still a little girl who played Barbies. And for me, that was this beautiful moment. What if we can have both at the same time? And later that evening, she cuddled on me during dinner and played like girly girl. And we giggled and laughed about silly stuff. Like a little girl. It was beautiful. But what if both can exist? What if you can be the mom and enjoy being the mom and still acknowledge them as beings? I hope that helps. I think it's a wonderful topic. Thank you so much for bringing it up because there's a lot of misunderstanding, I guess, with that. And you can, just because you acknowledge that they are like adults, doesn't mean you can't lead them, show them, let them be part of your wisdom. Tell them about what you know. And also with what you said about the whole abuse thing, this abusive energy that a lot of us are aware of is for me a lot that you said like you got out of this feeling wrong. Amazing. Well done, you guys. But be aware, this energy around X-Men, it's quite, how do I put it? There is a lot of wrongness around us still. Okay. So I think that's where the classes also come in to really get those layers away. I hope that makes sense to you guys. Cool.
Actually, can I just connect to this topic because you're talking about the classes? We have a question in the Zoom chat. Irene is asking that for those that are relatively new in Access, can you please explain how the X-Men classes are built on each other, or what is possible to do parallel, or what is a prereq to what? Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So we have the one-day X-Men class, which is the first discovery of that world of X-Men. So you do Bar's class, and then you can like dive into that one-day class. The 2-day class is you have the prereqs of foundation or the one-day class, no matter when or what, live or online. And the 2-day class is very deep. There is a lot of information in there. So even if you work with people, the information in there is gold. There is so much information about diseases, diagnosis, and whatever. And the 2-day class goes really, really deep because there is a lot of stuff where we are all stuck that we process in the 2-day class. I had a few clients who I personally had my big breakthrough in a 2-day class. I had a lot of clients who had their breakthrough in a 2-day class because there's so many, as I said, processes to get us out of this stuckness. Because X-Men were made wrong for trillions of years on this planet and still are in a way. And a lot of us, like as in the X-Men movies, are hiding our capacities underneath diagnosis. So a lot of that is still hidden. Those X-Men capacities are here to discover. So so the 2-day class goes very deep. That's why we have those prereqs. So we are ready to go that deep. There is a question that I got. This happened today. One of my managers, not my direct boss, was very upset and aggressively told me off for completing a task really badly, causing him not being able to complete the monthly report on time because of me. I told him that when I noticed a mistake, I have reported to his assistant manager, and I was told that this would be brought to his attention. This indeed never happened as the assistant manager was only covering, blah, blah, blah. So I was aware of the problem, reported it to his assistant manager, but still was aware of the hard feeling even hours after this happened. I suspect it did not belong to me. Who does this belong to? I asked the question and sent it back. What else could be done? Things like this happen to me a lot. I feel when I occur, I start going crazy. Thank you. If this issue could be covered in this call. The first question I would ask, who is that? Agnes, is she here?
Probably not.
No.
No, I don't
The
see her
first
name.
thing I would ask was, are there like demons involved with those people you work with? So if you don't know what demons are like creatures, dark creatures who are here to create unhappiness and destruction. And so how many demons were with those managers? And if people are, let's say, possessed with demons, they often act really strange. So the demon clearing here to get awareness. But also, as you said, you were aware of this situation. So how many of us are already aware of the future? So if you're aware of the future, how can you use that to your advantage? You were aware this assistant manager won't tell him. So the next time, if you're aware of that, what action could you take? Could you be like, okay, I know he's not going to tell him. Can I send him an email directly? But also be aware in like those work systems, the X-Men are often the fastest. I can tell you an example. I was in this shop and everyone there was human, and there were so many things where they said, that's how we are doing it. And I was always like, yeah, but if we do it like this, it's much faster. And every time I said it, I went, no, that's how we're doing it. So often X-Men in a working environment, we create a lot of chaos because we are questioning the system. We're questioning the choices. We are aware. And a lot of people don't know what to do with us because they can perceive we see through them. Be aware of that, like how weird we often are. So the more you acknowledge that, okay, I function so different, and how can I use that? So for me, the 2-day class also is a lot about how can I actually use this to have the most ease possible? Because awareness is a gift that gives you a lot of ease and possibilities if you use it. But also the demon clearing. So let's do some demon clearings, just because. Demons, so all the encapsulated demons, all the demons you're aware of, demons go back to from whence you came, never to return to us or this reality again. Right, go by Popok, 100 shows boys, poets, creation spaces, alias. Demons go back to from whence you came, never to return to us or this reality again. Right, go by Popok, 100 shows boys, poets, creation spaces, and beyonds. Yes. Cool. I think Nori wanted to add something else. Yes, please do. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Cool. I did all the questions from the was sent in. Are there other questions about the 2-day class, about the tools?
Visszajelezhettek valamit,
Aha. She must have given feedback.
hogy csak hogy volt egy felismerésem, miközben mondtál valamit, hogy lehet, hogy az a baj, hogy nem ismerem el, hogy én is vezető vagyok, és hogy azt kellene nekik lennem, és azért ők akarnak vezetni.
Lefordítom. So she said that I want to give a feedback. I just had a realization while you were talking. Maybe the issue is that I do not acknowledge that I am a leader or that I should be their leader, and maybe they step up and lead when I don't lead or when I don't.
That's a cool. And also, X-Men kids are usually they desire their parents to become greater. I've never heard about an X-Men kid who said like, I don't want my mom to be rich or whatever. X-Men kids love everything that's, let's say, they love luxury because it gives us ease. I've never seen an X-Men kid who doesn't want their mom to step up. So like, yeah, how much are they like pushing you to become greater and more? And isn't that cool?
Yeah, and they're only very little in Nori's case. They are only
Yes.
pushing years to come.
Are there other questions about the classes, about everything else? So this class is not just for kids, but you can bring your kids. It's such a gift to bring them because they just get everything that for free. And what a different way of growing up it is if you have the tools from the beginning, because most of us did that as adults and we kind of had to clear some shit to even get there. But kids are more like, yes, I'll have that from the beginning. Yes, so the 2-day class is different and it goes very deep, and there's a lot of processing I said that really gets us out from the stuckness. And a lot of information. Also, if you work with people, it's phenomenal. And like, I don't know how it is, but how many of you would like a bit more, like a tiny little bit more money?
Tiny little bit.
Just a tiny little bit. So for me, the X-Men class completely changed my financial reality. And I don't just say that because I was so broke. You can't imagine. So broke. And I literally created millions with those tools. Because what happens if we are as X-Men try to do it normal, it doesn't work. So how many of you are trying to do business and money normal? And I'm wondering, where are my clients? Where's the money? Where's the success? Well, not working. So it's not just about getting out of wrongness. It's literally to create a life that actually works with your terms and your rules and that, yeah, fits you. And the planet is so asking for more of us to step up. If you look at politics and co, Jesus, he's not helping us, and that we have to get. George, is there something I should talk about, or would you say that I could add?
It just popped into my head, if there is no more questions, that I'd like to ask these questions, which is something that most of the people that I come across or they come to my classes or whatever, that they are stuck with, if they are X-Men. They can get as far as, okay, I acknowledge I'm different. Okay, I'm happy with that. But how do I use it to my advantage? That's
Okay,
where
cool.
most people are stuck.
Yes. And I would say that's something where we specifically do in the 2-day class. How do I use my gift and my difference to create a life? Because that's not something you can do in like 5 minutes. That's a process. Yeah, but that's where the fun begins. If you are using your difference, I mean, I can give you an example. My whole life, I would have done everything to be normal. I would have killed to be normal because I thought this is so intense. This is so aggressive. Now, you could give me millions. I would never give my ADHD away because my ADHD made me rich as fuck. I love my ADHD. Fabio's like, yeah, because it made you millions. I'm like, yes, I would never give that weirdness away because that is what created everything. So that's a point when you're not just acknowledge, okay, I'm not wrong, I can acknowledge. But when you actually use it, that's where the fun begins. That's where life gets a party.
Yeah. And another thing that that people are often stuck with, that I don't want all that awareness.
Yes, exactly.
Too much for me.
Yes, too
I
much.
want to be
I would also say
somewhere.
there are lots of amazing processes why we have that. Like there are lots of experiments done to X-Men in former lifetimes, like the OCD and whatever, where people are a lot stuck into something. A lot of stuff is going on in that 2-day class where we really get out of that. So this, my awareness is too much, is a very typical, as you said, that shows up for literally everyone. There are tools to change that, and that's where the fun begins. For an X-Men, I highly, 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 highly recommend a 2-day class because the processes are in there. Yeah. That's why I was going crazy, probably as Georgie is now. How soon and fast can I do that class? She's probably the same. Go, go, go.
Yeah, and I actually loved, I don't know where you said that, in which call of yours, that the 2-day X-Men class is like the foundation class for X-Men.
For
I
me,
love
it's like
that.
that. Yeah. Because it really creates that foundation of how do I function, for me, it was foundation class, yes. And it's interesting, I had, after that X-Men class, every foundation class was also different because I functioned from a different foundation, yes.
Okay, any other questions from anybody? You can write it in the chat if you cannot come in and talk to us.
So where is the class? The class is in a beautiful venue in the north of Italy. It's in a villa. We have people flying in from Taiwan and Dubai. I'm not even joking. It is like
So where do you fly in? What's near? What's the airport close?
so the Venetian airport is near an hour, but there is also Trieste, which used to be the Austrian Hungarian part.
Yes.
I think from Hungary, the drive can't be that long. I think the drive would be like probably 6 hours, maybe even more.
A bit more.
Longer?
8. Yeah.
8? Okay. Okay, that's quite
But
a long drive.
it's not impossible. I mean,
But it's not impossible. Yeah. So we're in this beautiful villa. I'm facilitating in English. We have Italian, French, and Hungarian translation by Chrissy's, right?
no, me.
No, you. Oh my God.
Me.
The queen herself is doing it.
Christy's away somewhere.
Yes.
She's busy
Cool.
already.
So there's Hungarian translation. This class works amazingly also online. It's always nice to be live, right? But it
How
works
does it work
amazingly.
live, Constance? Can people stay in the actual villa, or that's just
In the villa, you
passing?
can't stay, but there are a lot of beautiful hotels around. My husband just looked today at all the possibilities and was like, I can't choose. They're all so nice. They all have like pools and whatever. So if you come, we also have a travel PDF.
Guide. Yeah, travel guide.
Travel guide. I can also send it to Georgie. So if
Yes,
someone is
please.
interested to have a look at that.
Yes, because now you actually put the bug in my ear so that I should go there live.
Yes. It's the north of Italy, it's the Prosecco area. My husband is actually his grandfather is from
Now
that.
you said the word Prosecco.
But it's true. It's true. It's Prosecco area. My husband said something really funny. He said like it's the only place in the world where you can drink Prosecco as a guy and don't feel gay.
That's very funny.
So no, it's a beautiful area. But also this class works amazingly online. You Hungarians have this 80% price, which is also cool. So it's 1,200. We have on my website also already a link set up where you can change to that. There's a manual. In my classes, there's like always a follow-up Zoom.
Oh.
And yes.
I didn't know that. That's nice.
Yes, I usually do that so that we meet a few weeks later to have a look at what's going on. Yeah.
Super. Also, I'd like to say a few words, or please you say a few words about the other 2 programs that are available in Hungarian. We started talking about it a little at the beginning, but not a lot of people were joining in the Zoom yet. So the Energy Pool series and the Neurodivergent Millionaire program.
So I have an Energy Pool series for the whole year called fucking phenomenal 2026. It's for the whole year, 220 euros. It's like 2.5 hours per month, usually a bit longer. Every call was a mini class. I'm not sure if that's smart. It's just how I function. We already covered business and money. It's like an amazing opportunity to really stay with the tools. Energy Pulse is so much fun for X-Men. So you can still join. It's like just amazing. And then there's Neurodivergent Millionaire, which is a business program for X-Men. So Neurodivergent is this reality name for X-Men. So literally how to do business if you are a black sheep. Because normal business programs for black sheep is like not working. That's what a lot of us see. So there's like a business program, which is also twice a month.
Yes, and it's also possible to join just for 1 month. So people don't
Yes.
need to commit for
No.
a whole year.
No.
We started them. When did we start? The
2
energy
months ago.
we started in January, and I think May was the other one.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, so everybody's welcome to join anything. And I will have a 1-day X-Men class next week in 2 parts, Tuesday, Wednesday. So if somebody is missing that prereq, you're welcome to join. I will be live in Tapolca, which is north of Balaton. Do you know Balaton, Constance?
Yes.
Big lake? Yeah.
Yes. I mean, Balaton is Hungary.
Yes. But I'll have more over the summer, but this one next week is coming up just before your 2-day class.
Yes.
So that would be a nice warm up for that weekend to spend with you. Okay. Any other
Thank you so
questions?
much, everyone.
Last chance. Well, if there is not, then thank you everybody that sent in the questions, and thank you everybody that actually attended live and asked the question. And if you have any questions about X-Men in general, my classes, Constance's classes, then you can ask me, you can ask Annette as well. So please find us and don't hesitate to join any of these classes because they really truly are life-changing. Okay. Thank you very
Thank you so much.
Constance, and I'll see you in that class, if not
Thank
sooner.
you.
Thank you, everybody. Sziasztok. Thank you.